Hi there, all you crazy RC people. By now, a lot of you have seen, or many of you have seen, the Reaper video where I took a standard Traxxas Villain EX and upgraded it with faster motors, brushless power, LiPo, a lot of upgrades, painted it. Turned out to be a pretty good video, but there's an interesting little story that happened during the filming of that video that I thought you guys might be interested in. A lot of the video had onboard shots from a HD Hero. Great little camera. These things are awesome for RC. You can take awesome HD quality video with them. And I made a little bracket, as you can see here. This part is actually the original stand that it comes on when you buy it. And I just put two little aluminum plates under it and then Velcroed them, I thought pretty securely. You turn it sideways, you can turn it backwards, you can turn it however you want. So I thought it was a pretty good base to put the camera onto the boat with. And it worked great for a while. You saw the shots in the Reaper video that it did. It worked really well. But eventually I started getting a little crazy with the boat and just seeing what the boat could do with all the power. And I ended up knocking the camera off of the boat in about 5 feet of water. Now, this camera doesn't float, and neither does the bracket that it's on. So when I lost it in the water, I lost the camera. It was gone. Not only did I lose the camera, but I also lost all of the video that was on that camera because I hadn't downloaded it yet. I had been driving the boat for about 2 hours to get all the good shots, and all that video was still inside of this camera. So when it went down, it was recording, and it kept recording. It was in about 5 feet of water, very muddy water, and I knew I had a choice. I could either just say, well, that's it, I'm out of camera, or I could decide, well, I'm going to go in and try to find it. Now, one very important piece of information, it's March here in Indiana, and it's actually March 20th was the day that I was filming this. It was about 60, 61 degrees, something like that where I live. But the water was 40 degrees, and that's 40 degrees Fahrenheit. That's 8 degrees above freezing. So it wasn't a light decision to decide that I was going to go in and try to find this camera. But the more I thought about it, the more I decided that the only way I was ever going to get it back, both the camera and the video that I had made, I was going to have to go in and get it. So I did. I went into the water. The water was about, well, you'll see in the video clips here coming up, the water was about up to my shoulders or a little bit below that in most parts of where I was looking. I didn't know exactly where the camera fell off because when the boat flipped, it actually went across about 15 or 20 feet during its flip, and I wasn't sure exactly where the camera came off. So I had about a 20 or 30 foot square radius that I needed to search in 5 foot deep water with mud on the bottom, and I couldn't see through it. So I had to use my legs to try to fill if I bumped into anything, and then I had to try to pick that up, so I had to go into the water to get it and pick it up. So it was a pretty harrowing experience in 40 degree water. It was cold enough that I was worried about getting hypothermia, and so I would go in for about 15 minutes, and then when my legs would get numb and I couldn't fill them anymore, then I would come out and sit on the bank for a little bit until I could fill them again. Then I would go back in the water and keep searching. And finally, after about 45 minutes, the camera had actually been on the bottom 57 minutes. I actually bumped into it with my foot, what I thought was it. So I went under and got it and brought it up, and it was the camera. So not only did I get the camera back, but I also got back all my video, onboard video from the Reaper boat. So and the camera was still running. It was still recording. So you're going to see here in a minute the clips of me picking up the camera out of the water and what I looked like in that 40 degree water. So anyway, here you go. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. So there you go. There's the clips of what happened, and I'll tell you, after about 40 minutes in that water, I really did not think I was going to get the camera back, and I was just about to give up and just decide that I had lost a $300 camera and all my video clips when I stumbled over it. So got very lucky. And was I an idiot to go in that water? Yes, it was absolutely stupid. I shouldn't have done it. But I wasn't very far from my house, and I knew if I got too cold I could always go home, which I did afterwards. But by going into the water and doing the search and rescue, I did find my camera. I got it back, and I got back all the video clips that you guys saw in the Reaper video, and pretty happy about that. So thought you guys might be interested to hear that little story. You know, sometimes the fun stuff that happens in RC doesn't make it into the videos. So I hope you guys can learn from my mistakes, and this won't ever happen to you, because let me tell you what, that water was definitely cold.